Hi everybody, my name is Chris Parkinson with Vida Fitness, and we're happy to be a part of the National Cherry Blossom Festival to offer this yoga class to help kick off Petalpalooza. And at this time, we can't be together, so we're going to offer this class virtually. So today it'll be a 55-minute vinyasa class. For this class, you're going to need a couple of props. You'll need 2 pillows. Couch pillows will work. If you have blocks at home, those will work too. Go ahead and set those at the top of your mat before we begin class. And you're also going to need a bigger couch pillow to do a reclined and restorative back bend at the end of practice. We're going to start today in a comfortable seated position on your mat. Bring your hands down onto your knees. If it feels okay, close your eyes. Take a slow inhale through your nose. And a long, slow exhale out your mouth. Do one more of those. Long, slow inhale through the nose. Fill up your belly with air. Exhale out through the mouth. Now see if you can grow a little taller through the top of your head. But also at the same time, root down and through the base of your spine and your hips into the earth. It takes a little bit of muscles in your lower back and your lower abdominals to sit tall like this. Now the springtime, when we celebrate the change from winter to spring. And during the winter, when our bodies can be pretty lethargic. We can tend to get into some pretty bad habits of rolling the shoulders forward. When that happens, the muscles of your back and your upper shoulders, they get overstretched and they tend to get frozen in place. When they get overstretched and frozen in place, they get weaker. And the chest muscles feel tighter and the back muscles feel tighter. And so it can be kind of a dilemma of which one needs to be stretched. Well, in this case, the chest needs to be stretched. The upper back muscle, rather than being more stretched, needs to be invigorated. We need to use the upper back muscles and the shoulder muscles to help open the chest muscles instead of just passively stretching chest muscles. Although we'll do a little bit of that. And now walk your hands behind you. You'll notice I'm going to change my perspective on the mat so that I can give you the best option of viewing at home. Bring your hands behind you, slightly behind you, fingertip your hands on the ground, and lift your collarbones up towards the sky as you gently pull your shoulder blades together behind you. Try not to lean backwards. And so keep the shoulders stacked right above the hips. Right, every inhale, lengthen your spine. Every exhale, gently brace your core muscles. Pull the shoulder blades together behind you. And use this connection with the earth, the fingertips on the mat or on the floor beside you, to help pull the shoulder blades together, to gently waken them up. At some point, your body's not going to go any further, and that's where you stop. Try to think about this as going to about 60% what your body can do, and then ask your body if it wants to go further. And if it says no, well, then you stay where you are. If it gives you the green light, then go a little further. Now walk your hands forward in front of you. Let your chin fall down towards your chest. Just start to feel the muscles of your back that we just invigorated lengthen a little bit. Stretch just slightly. Bring your hands back up onto your knees. Bring your right hand across your body. Put it on the outside of your left knee. Bring your left hand to the base of your spine behind you. Once again, tense your fingertips here. Now, instead of using the right hand to twist, use the muscles of your core to twist. And your core, right, is not only the abdominal muscles, it's also the lower back muscles. And it's such that in your twist, you could reach your arms out like an airplane and still keep your twist. So the core muscles do the work here to help protect the spine. Long, slow inhale as you lengthen through the crown of your head. Exhale as you twist. And one more of those. Long, slow inhale. Think about bringing your chest over towards the left side of your body, not your right hip. Exhale. Come back to center. Hands go onto knees, and then hands dive forward once more. Let your spine round. Just gently for a little bit. Bring your hands back up onto your knees. Sit nice and tall once more. Left hand goes across your body to your right knee. Right hand comes to the base of your spine. Fingertips on the floor. Lengthen as you inhale. And then exhale. Firm the core muscles to twist. Lower back muscles and abdominal muscles working here. One more time, inhale. And then exhale. Come back to center. Walk your hands forward, let your spine round gently. Keep your abs a little braced. Then come down onto your knees and onto your hands into a tabletop position. Reach your left arm all the way out in front of you. Reach your right leg all the way back behind you. Try not to shift the weight too much into the left knee. Try to keep the same amount of weight in the right hand as in the left knee. And then as you reach the arm and the leg up towards the sky, see if you can prevent arching your back. So keeping your spine nice and long. Inhale here. Exhale, place the hand and knee on the ground. Breathe free. Reach out opposite arm, opposite leg without shifting too much weight into the right knee. So right arm goes out, left leg goes straight back behind you. Your head and neck stay in line with your spine. You're still looking down at the top of your remote yoga mat. Breathing slow in through your nose. And then exhaling slow out through your mouth. Big inhale here. Exhale, bring hand and knee down to the earth. Step your feet back behind you. Come into a plank. Lower all the way down to the ground. Keep your hands right by your sides. Release your toes. Pull the shoulder blades gently towards one another, the elbows towards your rib cage. Take an inhale, press your chest up off the ground, but also give a little pull with the palms of your hands. Exhale, bring the chin back down. 2 more times. Inhale, chest gently comes up. Little cobra, legs heavy. Exhale, chin comes back down. 1 more time. Inhale, press, but pull as much as you can. Lift chest. Exhale, bring chin back down. Press into a tabletop position. Press back to child's pose. Breathe slowly in through your nose, out through your mouth. Try to pull air all the way down into your belly as you inhale. And then exhale all the way out through your mouth, slow, not in a whoosh. Anytime during the practice, if this gets to be too much, come back to this child's pose. And come into a tabletop position. Once more, walk your hands about 3 inches in front of you. Tuck the toes underneath you behind you. Press your butt up to downward facing dog. Spread your fingers nice and wide. And if you look up between your hands, you'll note that your forefinger and your thumb form a nice L shape. You're pressing the entire palm firmly into the earth. Take as long a down dog as you need so that you can take the round out of your lower back. If you have really tight hamstrings like me, your knees can stay slightly bent so you can really lift the hips up towards the sky. Take an inhale, reach your right leg up into the air. When you exhale, bring your knee towards your nose. Round your spine, press the earth away. Inhale, reach the right leg up towards the sky. Press to the left heel to get a calf stretch on the opposite side. Exhale, bring your knee towards your nose. Inhale, reach the right leg up towards the sky. When you exhale, step the right foot up between your hands. Release your back knee, release your back toes. Take an inhale, bring your arms up towards the sky. When you exhale, bring your hands back down to the ground. Tuck your back toes under. Inhale, step to the top of your mat. Draw your hands to your shins, lengthen your spine until your chest gets parallel to the floor. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees, reach down towards the floor. Inhale, reach your arms up over your head. Bring the palms together above your face. When you exhale, dive your hands back to the ground. Bend your knees, let your head and neck get heavy. Next inhale, bring your hands to your shins. Halfway lift, lengthen your spine. When you exhale, plant your hands, step your left leg back behind you. Release your left knee, release your left toes. Take an inhale, bring your arms up towards the sky. When you exhale, bring your hands back to the ground. Press back to down dog. Chest towards thighs, heels towards the earth. Inhale, come out to a plank. Exhale, lower all the way down. Release your toes. Inhale, press your chest up. Keep your hips on the floor. Exhale, bring your chin back down. Tuck your toes under. Inhale, press to a plank. Exhale, press back to down dog. Next, inhale, bring your left leg up into the air. Press through the right heel to get a calf stretch on the right leg. Exhale, bring your knee towards your nose. Make space between your chest and the earth. Inhale, reach left leg up towards the sky. Exhale, bring knee to nose. Inhale, reach left leg up towards the sky. Exhale, step left foot up between hands. Release your back knee, release your back toes. Take an inhale, bring your arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale as your hands come back to the mat. Tuck your back toes under. Inhale, step to the top of your mat. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees, firm your abdominals. Inhale, reach your arms up over your head. Bring the palms together above your face. When you exhale, dive your hands back to the mat. Bend your knees, reach for the floor. Don't let gravity do it. Inhale, bring your hands to your shins. Flat back, lengthen your spine. Exhale as you plant your hands. Step your right leg back behind you. Release the right knee, release the right toes. Inhale, arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale as the hands come back to the mat. Press back to down dog, chest towards thighs. Inhale, come out to plank. Exhale, lower all the way down. Release your toes. Inhale, press your chest up. Remember to pull as well as press. Exhale, chin comes back down. Tuck toes under. Inhale, press to a plank. Exhale, press back to down dog. Take a deep inhale through your nose. And then audible exhale out through your mouth. Next inhale, reach your right leg up into the air. When you exhale, step your right foot up between your hands. Release your back knee, release your back toes. Bring your hands up onto your right thigh. Breathe free. Try to get the left leg far enough back behind you so that you're above the left kneecap. Keep the right knee stacked right above the right ankle. And then you're gonna bring your hands to your hips. A little tuck to your pelvis here so you can engage the muscles of the left butt cheek. It's gonna help release some of the hip flexor muscles on the left side. And now, sitting in chairs or sitting on couches, our hips are in a flexed position, or in a flexed position in comparison to our leg. So the hip flexor muscles get tight, and they too get frozen into place and eventually get weak. So we want to open them up gently and then flush some blood and some fluid into them by using the hip flexors. Bring your hands to your lower back so that the fingertips point upwards towards the shoulder blades. Pull your elbows together behind you. Press the palms of your hands down towards your butt cheeks. Then the hips sink forward slightly. You don't need to press, right, so that you're pressing your hips forward. You want to press so you're stretching the muscles of the wrists. Then you lift collarbones slightly up towards the sky, squeeze shoulder blades together, and this is how we use the back muscles to open up the chest muscles. 2 more breaths. And bring your hands down to frame your right foot. Tuck your back toes under, come up to a low lunge. Spin your left heel to the ground. Come up to warrior 2. Then bring the left arm behind you, right arm out in front. And allow yourself to use the legs, firm your base, pressing through the outside of the left foot, rooting down through the right heel, and the balls of your feet on your right foot. Those are the pads right underneath your toes, such that you can bring your toes up off the ground. Reach your left arm up towards the sky. Grab your left wrist with your right hand. Take an inhale here. When you exhale, lean towards the right. Press through the left wrist, like you want to stretch the muscles from the left shoulder down to the left hip. Inhale, come back up. Try to keep the right knee bent. Exhale, lean towards the left. Press through the left wrist. Inhale, come back up. One more time. Exhale, lean to the right. Press through the left wrist. Inhale, come back up. Exhale out to warrior 2. Breathe free. Flip the right palm up towards the sky. Bring the left hand onto your left thigh. Reach the right arm up towards the sky. Reverse your warrior. Let the right shoulder elevate up towards the right ear. Then look up at the right palm. Keep bending the right knee, firming all the muscles in the right leg. You notice every time you inhale, you stretch the muscles on the right side of your body. Every time you exhale, you feel that firm foundation with the ground. Take an inhale here. Exhale, come back to warrior two. Straighten your front leg. Pivot your right foot to face the left side of your mat. Big toes point inwards towards each other. Take an inhale as you bring your arms up over your head. Exhale as you dive your hands down to the ground. Come into a forward fold. Reach across your body. Bring your right hand onto your left ankle or your left shin or your left thigh. Place the left hand on top of the right wrist. Look at the right big toe and start to pull your torso towards the right big toe. And this is going to help open up some of the muscles that connect the middle of the back or the spine into the shoulder blade on the right side. And also some of the muscles that connect the shoulder into the right arm. Try to inhale all the way down into your belly, like you were filling up a glass of water. And you fill up the lungs from the bottom to the top, not from the top down. Bring your hands back to your mat. Bring both hands to your hips. Flat back, big fat inhale, come up. Pivot the right foot to face the top of your mat. Come back to warrior two. And take both your pillows or your blocks. You're going to put them on the outside of your right foot. And bring your right forearm to your right thigh. Reach the left arm out over your head. You shouldn't feel like you're leaning into the right knee. If it does, take a little step back with the left leg and then rebend the right knee. Wrap the left arm around your lower back. You're going to take a bind here. You got to use the back of the left shoulder to help open up the pectoral muscles on the left side. Then bring your right hand down to the pillows or the blocks. Notice, I do that by bending the right knee more rather than rounding the spine on the right side of my body. And keep looking out towards the left side of your mat. Finally, press the outside of the right thigh to the inside of the right bicep here, and to use every muscle in your right leg. And then come all the way up to warrior two. Straighten your front leg. Totally your back foot up once, just shortening your stride slightly. Flip the right palm, reverse your warrior, reach up towards the ceiling. This time, look back past your left leg down at the floor. Firm the muscles on the right thigh. And then bend the right elbow, reach up with the left hand, let the right elbow elevate up towards the ceiling, and then a gentle pull on the right elbow with the left hand. Both legs are still vigorously engaged right here. You're not locking out the knees and just sitting in your joints. Rebend the right knee, come back to warrior two. Cartwheel your hands down to the ground. Pause for a moment. Take a half step up with your left leg. Stand up on your right leg. Take your pillows if you want. Put them in front of you. This is called a standing split. We're not going to be here that long. What I want you to do is bring the left knee to the right calf muscle. Bend the right knee. And then bring your arms long by your sides like an airplane as you lift your chest until it gets parallel to the ground. This is a single leg squat. Just to invigorate the muscles of the right leg. Keep shifting the hips back behind you, right, so that the weight is in the right heel. And then up into warrior three. Straightening the right leg, straightening the left leg. Chest is lifted slightly, parallel to the ground or higher, but not lower than the hips. Reach the arms up towards the ceiling. Pull shoulder blades together slightly behind you. 2 more breaths. Bring your hands back down onto the pillows or the blocks. Step the left leg back behind you. Come into a low lunge. Bring your hands up onto your right thigh once more. Shimmy the left leg back behind you. Interlace your fingers to the base of your spine. Clasp your palms together. Pull the shoulder blades together. Lift the collarbones up towards the sky. Firm the abdominals here. Firm the muscles in the left butt cheek. Remember, 60% here. 2 more breaths. Bring your hands down from your right foot. Tuck your left toes underneath you behind you. Come into a low lunge. Leave your left hand on the ground. Reach your right arm up towards the sky. Look past the right knee. Keep pulling the left side of your body, your left abdominals and your left rib cage towards your right thigh, and your right thigh towards your left rib cage. That's where the twist originates. Do not let your left hip come with you. Bring your right hand back to the ground. Step back to a plank. Lower all the way down. Bring your arms out like an airplane. Bring your right facial cheek to the mat. Walk the left hand to your face. Bend the left knee. Step the left knee, left foot over the right leg. You're going to roll onto your right hip. Walk the left hand towards your face. So you're stretching the chest and the shoulder muscles on the right side. And this is one of those passive stretches we talked about. We won't stay here long. 2 more breaths. Bring the left leg back over, lay on your belly. Reach your left arm out like an airplane. Bring your left facial cheek to the mat. Bend the right knee, walk the right hand to your face. Step the right foot up and over the left leg. 4 breaths. Head is heavy on the floor. Bring the right leg back up and over. Lay on your bellies. Bring your hands right underneath your shoulders. Press into a tabletop position. Press back to child's pose. Tuck your toes underneath you behind you. Press up to down dog. Hips lift up towards the sky. Reach your left leg up into the air. Take a deep inhale. When you exhale, step the left foot up between your hands. Release your back knee, release your back toes. Breathe free. Bring your hands onto your left thigh. This time, bring your hands behind your head. Once more, left knee high above left ankle. You're on the fleshy part above the right kneecap. Pull the elbows back behind you as far as they go. Root down through the left foot to reach the collarbones up towards the sky as the hips gently press forwards. Every muscle, right from your butt up to the upper shoulders, engaged here. 3 breaths. Bring your hands down to frame your left foot. Tuck your back toes under, low lunge. Spin left heel to the ground. Come up to warrior 2. So left arm forward, right arm behind you. Press into the outside of your right foot. And you look back at your right foot. Right big toe slightly pointed towards the upper right hand corner of your mat. Left knee stacking above left ankle. Reach up, grab your right wrist with your left hand. Take an inhale. When you exhale, lean to the left. Press through the right wrist. 2 more times. Inhale, back up. Exhale, lean to the left. Press through the right wrist. Last time here, try to hinge from the hip instead of rounding the spine. Exhale, over towards the left. Inhale, back up. Exhale, warrior 2. Flip the left palm up towards the sky. Right hand goes to right leg. Lift left hand up towards the ceiling. Let the left shoulder elevate. The more you can let the shoulder elevate, the more we stretch the muscles that connect the arm to the lower back. 2 more breaths. And then come back to warrior 2. Straighten the left leg. Pivot left toes to face right side of the room. Big inhale as the arms come up over your head. Exhale as you dive the hands down to the ground. Forward fold. You're going to bring the left arm across your body here. Grab for your right ankle or your right shin or your right thigh. Right hand comes onto the left wrist. Look at the left big toe. Start to pull the shoulder, left shoulder towards your left big toe. 4 slow breaths here. Try to keep your spine as long as possible. Try not to round any part of your back here. Bring both hands back down to the mat. Both hands come to your hips. Come all the way up. Pivot left foot, face the top of your mat. Bend your left knee. Take your pillows or your block. Put it on the outside of your left foot. And starting from warrior two. Bring the left forearm to the left thigh. Reach the right arm out over your head. Pulling your chest towards the right side of your body. And then wrapping the right arm around your lower back. Use the back of that right shoulder to open up the right chest muscle. Keep the left knee bent as you reach the left hand down outside your left foot. Gaze out towards the right side of your body. Press outside of left thigh into left bicep. 3 breaths. And come up to warrior two. Straighten the front leg, toe your back foot up once. Squeeze inner thighs towards one another. Firm tops of thighs. Reach left arm up towards the sky. Reverse your warrior once more. And then bend the left elbow. Reach up with the right hand. Let the left elbow elevate. Slight lean back towards the right leg, but not a whole lot. When you have a bind like this, your breathing does most of the work. And then release your elbow, come back to warrior two. Cartwheel your hands down to frame your left foot. Gonna take your blocks, your pillows, put them out in front of you, stand up on your left leg, reach your right leg up. Does not matter how high in the air your right leg goes. Then you're gonna bring right knee towards left calf muscle. Arms come right by your side, long as your chest lifts parallel to the floor. Keep hinging from the hips here without rounding the spine. Keep sending the hips back so the weight is in the left heel. And then you're going to extend the left leg, extend the right leg. Chest can be lifted a little higher here than the hips, right? But no lower than the hips. Reach the arms up towards the ceiling behind you. Lift the collarbones forward. 2 more breaths. And bring your hands back to your pillows. Step the right leg back behind you. Low lunge. Release the back knee. Release the back toes. Hands come up onto the left thigh. Interlace the fingers the opposite way you did last time behind your lower back. Squeeze shoulder blades together. Hips gently go forward. Chest lifts up towards the sky. Brace the abdominals. We want this back bend to happen in your thoracic spine. And that's the area of your back that's connected to your rib cage. Not leaning backwards into the lumbar spine here. 2 breaths. And then hands come back down to frame your left foot. Tuck your back toes under, low lunge. Right hand stays on the ground, left arm reaches up towards the sky. Just a little twist, press through the right heel, pull right rib cage and left thigh towards one another. 3 breaths. And then bring left hand back down outside left foot. Step back to plank. Lower all the way down to the ground. Bring your arms long by your sides. Lift everything up off the ground. Arms, legs, heads, and chests. Keep looking down at the top of your mat so you're not cranking your neck. 3 breaths. Big inhale here. Exhale, bring everything to the ground. Bring hands underneath shoulders. Press into tabletop. Press back to child's pose. Long, slow inhale through your nose. Long, slow exhale out through your mouth. Come back into tabletop. Tuck your toes underneath you behind. Press up and back. down dog. Now, every time we bend the knee in a lunge, we use the hamstring. Every time we sit in chairs, we use the hamstring as well. So hamstrings get really tight when we sit around in our chairs. I'm going to gently open them up here. Reach the right leg up into the air and step the right foot up between your hands. Take a half step up with your left foot until both legs get straight. Bring your hands to your hips. Stand up. Now, both legs are going to stay straight here. There's a pose called pyramid. You're going to use your pillows here or blocks. Alternatively, you're just going to use core muscles. Right? I'm going to try the core muscles first, and then maybe I'm going to get my hands down onto the pillows. We'll see how my body is today. Both thighs have to be firm. You're squeezing thighs inwards, the inner thighs squeeze towards one another. Hips go back, chest hinges forward. This is not unlike that warrior 3 we just did. Your spine stays nice and long. Keep pulling the right hip back, shifting the left hip forward. That hamstring muscle goes over the hip joint and the knee joint. So you have to hinge from the hip here, not just keep the right leg straight. And then your arms can come down long. You can reach towards the floor as you keep hinging from the right hip. And then maybe, just maybe, your hands come down onto the pillows. And you keep trying to reach your belly button towards your big toe, sending the right hip back, shifting the left hip forward, and finally let your head be heavy. Keep pressing through the big toe on your right foot so you don't roll to the outside of your right foot. Bring your hands to your hips. Come all the way back up. Rebend your right knee. Take a step back with your left leg. Back to warrior 2. You're going to straighten the front leg. Toe your back foot up once. Squeeze inner thighs towards one another once more. Shift hips back. Reach the right arm forward. Keep hinging from the right hip, not rounding the right side of your body. When you can't hinge anymore, right hand comes inside, right shin, left arm comes up towards the sky. You can use the back of that right hand to gently start to rotate the torso towards the left side of your mat. Keep shifting the hips back, reaching the collarbones and the crown of your head forwards. 3 breaths. And then slowly come all the way back up. Rebend your front knee. From here, you're going to bring your hands down inside your right foot. Walk your hands back towards your left foot as you straighten the right leg. This pose is called Skandasana. Hands are on the ground to support. And this is our 3rd hamstring stretch in this series. If this feels like too much on the left knee, keep the left heel on the ground, left forearm onto left thigh. See if you can get the weight to come down the center line of your mat so you're not leaning into the left knee. Firm the muscles of the right thigh slightly to help stretch the muscles on the right leg. And then left elbow presses into left thigh. And getting a nice groin stretch. 3 more breaths. And then walk your hands towards the top of your mat. Release your back knee. Step your right knee back in line with your left knee. Tabletop position. Extend the left leg straight back behind you. Spin the left heel to the ground. Kickstand the right foot behind you. Reach your left hand up towards the sky. And this is a supported side plank here. Keep the right hand directly underneath the right shoulder. Lift the left leg up into the air. And you're going to bend the left knee. Reach back for the left foot with your left hand. Keep the left heel in line with your left butt cheek. Use the left hamstring here to help open up the left thigh. And then finally gaze up towards the ceiling. Firm your abdominals so the lower back doesn't arch. We want the left hip to extend. We don't want the ribs to flare out. 3 more breaths. And release your back foot. Bring left hand to the ground. Bring left knee to the ground. Step back to plank. Lower all the way down. Release your arms long by your sides. Lift everything up into the air. Arms, legs, heads, and chests. After a long winter, this is the best thing for us. Using every muscle from our heel to the base of our neck to stretch every muscle from our toes to the base of our chin. 2 more breaths. Big inhale here. Exhale, lower all the way down. Bring hands underneath shoulders. Press to tabletop. Press back to child's pose. Butt towards heels. Arms all the way out in front. And come back into tabletop. Tuck toes underneath you behind you. Press up to down dog. Reach your left leg up into the air. Step your left foot up between your hands. Take a little half step up with your right foot. Straighten both legs. Hands come up to your hips as you stand tall. Both inner thighs once more going in towards each other. Right hip shifts forward, left hip shifts back. Your right big toe, right, almost pointing towards the upper right hand corner of your mat. And then hinge from the hips. Bring your chest down towards your toes, lengthening your spine as you lower into pyramid pose. Keep sending the left hip back, shifting the right hip forward. Don't roll to the outside of your left foot though. And then arms gonna reach down towards the floor. Keep your chest long here, almost like we're in that posture that we just did on the floor. Hinge from the hip to bring the hands maybe down onto your pillows. Firm the abdominals and let your chin be heavy. Bring hands to hips, slowly come back up. Bend the left knee, step the right foot back behind you. Warrior 2. Right arm behind you, left arm out in front. And we straighten the front leg, firm the left thigh, back heel, toes up once and twice. Shift the hips backwards, reach forwards, lengthen the left side of your body, and then bring the left hand inside the left shin. Reach the right arm up towards the sky. Use the back of the left hand to pull the chest over towards the right side of the body. Don't let the lowest ribs flare out. 3 slow breaths here. Do not collapse into that left leg. Keep your left leg strong, your thigh strong. And then come all the way back up. Rebend the left knee. Bring both hands down inside the left foot. Walk the hands back towards the right foot. Bend the right knee, Skandasana. Left heel comes to the floor. Flex the toes on the left foot back towards your shin. That's going to use the muscles on the front part of your shin. It helps stretch the calf muscles. Left thigh is engaged. Right elbow presses on the inside of right thigh gently. 4 slow breaths here. Chest stays nice and tall, back isn't rounded. Walk the hands forward towards the top of your mat. Drop your right knee to the floor. Bring left knee back in line with right knee, tabletop position. Extend the right leg straight back behind you. Spin the right heel to the floor. Reach the right hand up towards the sky. Supported side plank here. And you're gonna reach the right leg up into the air. Bend the right knee, reach back for the right foot. And instead of pulling or kicking, use the right hamstring. Use the back of the right shoulder to help open the chest. Firm the abdominals so the lower back doesn't arch. Try to get the right hip to extend, and then look up towards the sky. 3 breaths. And release your back foot. Bring right hand and right knee to the ground. Step back to a plank. Lower all the way down. When you get to the ground, bring your arms long by your sides. Lift everything up into the air. If you'd like, bend your knees, reach back, grab your feet with your hands. I'm not going to do that today because it doesn't feel good on my body right now. 3 breaths. Deep inhale here. Exhale, bring everything back to the floor. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Press into tabletop. Press back to child's pose. Come into a tabletop position. Cross the legs behind you. Sit down onto your butt. Extend the legs out in front of you. Sit nice and tall. Draw the right knee into your chest. Try to keep pulling the right inner thigh towards the left thigh. Left toes flex up towards the shin. Right hand comes behind you to the floor. Left elbow places on the outside of right thigh. Now squeeze right thigh and left rib cage towards one another to find your twist. Keep both feet straight forward. Don't let the left foot blow out to the side. And then maybe look back past the right shoulder. You should be able to reach left arm out in front and keep your twist. 3 breaths. And then release your twist. Extend the right leg out in front of you. Send the hips back. Reach down for your toes. Now, this is enough. You could also reach down for the ankles. Keep lengthening your spine here. Try not to let your spine round too much. Try to hinge, if you can, from the hips forwards. Bringing your belly button once more towards your toes. Then your chin falls down towards your chest. You'll notice if you firm your abdominals, that will stretch the lower back muscles. And then what's better, right, than being able to work your core muscles and stretch your lower back muscles at the same time. Come back up. Bring the left knee into your chest. Bring the right elbow on the outside of the left knee. Left hand comes to the base of your spine behind you. You'll notice, right? Both my hips are still pointing forward. It's my torso that's rotating over towards the left side of the body. I can reach my right arm up and keep my twist. Thighs are squeezing in towards one another. That will also help release the lower back muscles. And then release your twist. Extend both legs out in front of you. Lower down onto your backs. Cross the right ankle over the left thigh. Bring the left knee in towards your chest. Bring your hands onto your right shin or underneath your left knee for a figure 4. Try to keep your sacrum, that's the triangular shaped bone at the base of your spine that connects your spine to your pelvis. Try to keep that flat on the ground. And that'll get more stretch for the right butt cheek. Well, those of you at home who like half pigeon, you could come into half pigeon here too if you wanted. Keep trying to actively pull the left knee toward your face using the left hip flexor muscles instead of using your hands. In other words, you should be able to release your hands and keep your left leg right where it is. This will help strengthen the hip flexor muscles that we talked about earlier that have gotten weak because of their overusage during the winter months when we tend to sit around too much. Bring your left foot back to the floor. Unwind your legs. Bring your left ankle on top of your right thigh. Bring your right knee in toward your chest. And maybe the hands go onto the left shin, or they go behind the right knee to help pull. Keep the sacrum flat on the ground. Keep actively pulling right knee towards right chest without using your hands. So using those hip flexor muscles. Half pigeon on the other side if you took it on the right side. And then bring the right foot back to the ground. Unwind your legs. Bring your knees into your chest. Rock forwards and backwards. Come all the way up to a seated position. You're going to take the big pillow, couch pillow that I had you guys get before class. You could also just use the 2 little pillows that you have. And you're going to sit in a pose we call Mermaid, such that you pull the left foot back behind you and the right foot goes to the inside of the left thigh. Now, both hips are going to remain pointing forwards. You're going to line up the outside of your right thigh, either with the top of your mat, like I'm doing, or at home with the outside of the right side of your mat. You take the big couch pillow or the little pillows, put them along your right thigh. It's important that the hips remain perpendicular to where your chest is going to go. You're going to twist over towards the right leg. Bring the arms over the pillows. Keep your hips pointing perpendicular as the chest goes down towards the pillow. Try to pull the left armpit down towards the ground. You can use the right hand to help you here. And let your head become heavy. And we're stretching the muscle called your quadratus lumborum. It's a muscle that connects the bottommost rib to the top of your pelvis. It's in the back of your body, and it's a deep lying muscle. You want a little extra, you can walk your hands towards the back of your mat or towards the right side of your pillow. Keep trying to pull the left armpit down. You should feel a stretch all the way from your lower back up into the outside of the left shoulder. Try not to let the hips move. Firm the abdominals to help support the lower back and also increase the range of motion in your twist. And walk your hands back up towards the top of your mat. Unwind yourself. Bring both legs out in front of you. And take the pillow, transfer it over towards the left side. Pull the right foot back. Left foot goes to the inside of right thigh. And the reason why we're stretching these muscles in our lower back is because we use an awful lot of them in our practice. Line up the pillow with the outside of the left thigh. Reach the arms all the way out towards the left side of your body. Keep your hips facing perpendicular to where your chest is going to go. And you start to work the right armpit down towards the pillow. You can walk the hands towards the left side of your body to help pull the right armpit down towards the earth. Keep that right hip from coming with you though. Walk your hands back up towards the top of your mat. Unwind your twist. Sit tall, and then you're going to take the big pillow, put it at the base of your spine. Extend your legs out in front of you. Keep your butt on the floor. Lower your back onto the pillow so that your head is supported. You can even take one of your little pillows and put that in the middle of your back so you have more of a back bend here. Reach your arms out to the side like an airplane so that your backs of your hands touch the earth. Take an inhale here, and when you exhale, sink your hips to the floor, firm your abdominals. And this will increase the back bend in your thoracic spine. 2 more like that. Take an inhale. Exhale, sink the hips, firm the abdominals. And 1 more. Big inhale. Exhale, sink the hips, firm the abdominals. And then breathe free. Breathe all the way down into your belly. Let your belly rise up towards the ceiling. And then exhale from the belly first, all the way up into the lungs, into the throat, and outside the nose or mouth. Now with spring comes a change in the seasons. As we all know, we're going through a lot of changes right now. And in yoga, we try as much as we can to see change for what it is. Simply a change in our circumstances, or in our mindset, or in our bodies, or in our relationships. We try as much as possible not to add the labels good and bad. Because change can be good one day, and then we look back and we see that it was bad. Or that it was bad one day, and we look back and we see that it was good. Change happens all the time. It just so happens every once in a while, like now, we're confronted with what we call a gross change in our surroundings. That is, a change that's recognizable to everybody. Yogis know that change happens subtly every moment of the day. And noticing the changes, the subtle changes, are just as important as noticing the gross changes. And that's because if we can notice the subtle changes, those gross changes aren't as shocking to us. We can notice, for example, that we get older with each pressing moment. We never wake up when we're 45 and say, how did I get here? One little story to highlight what I'm talking about. And there's a village. And in this village lives a farmer. And the farmer, she has a cow. And one day, the cow runs away. And all the villagers come up to her and say, well, what a horrible thing. Your cow ran away. Now you can't feed your family. And the farmer says, maybe that's good news, maybe it's bad news, who's to say? Well, next week that cow comes back. And following the cow is a herd of cows. And all the villagers are shocked and they go up to the farmer and they say, wow, this is great news. And now you have a whole herd of cows. You're a wealthy person. And the farmer says, good news, bad news, who's to say? Well, then the next week, one of those cows that had just arrived runs over her son, and her son breaks her leg, his leg. And all the villagers say, this is horrible news. Now your son has broken his leg. She says, good news, bad news, who's to say? And the following week, an army comes through town and takes all the able-bodied young boys and men to go off to fight in the war. Her son isn't taken because he has a broken leg. The villagers say, well, that's great luck. Good news and bad news. She says, who's to say? You know, we could go on and on and on with this story. And the point is that you never really know in the moment whether something's good or bad. And that placing a judgment, an immediate judgment on something, an experience that happens, just adds either to misery or to perceived elation. It takes you away from equanimity. In other words, the benefit of equanimity is that we aren't seesawing back between perceived good and bad unnecessarily. Because when we seesaw back and forth between good experiences and bad experiences, we start to reach out and try to have the same good experience and avoid the same bad experiences. When we do that, our day is just one long seesaw between I want this, I don't want that. And you start to miss all the things that make life worth living, like love and gratitude, compassion, and faith, forgiveness. Bring your hands behind your head. And just real easy, tuck your chin into your chest. Roll up. Reach for your feet here. Grab your ankles, grab your toes. Let your spine round as much as you like. Pull your belly button in towards the back. 3 slow breaths here. And then come back up. Take your pillow, set it off to the side. Lower down onto your back. And take Shavasana. Let your feet splay out. Let your palms face up towards the ceiling. Release your slow breathing. Just breathe as you normally would. In through your nose and out through your mouth. All right, that's technically the end of class, everybody. I urge you to stay in Shavasana as long as you like. On behalf of Vida, my name is Chris Parkinson. Thank you all for joining me today. Hope to see you all next year for Petalpalooza.